Having successfully launched 3 businesses, bilingual mum to 2 and entrepreneur Antonia Brown has connected with thousands of people, both French and international, since moving to the French Riviera. These connections allow her to speak with successful local businesses and inspirational people about life here on the Côte d'Azur and share it with you. Welcome to the Riviera Firefly Podcast with your host, entrepreneur, and my mum, Antonia Brown.
On today's Riviera Firefly podcast, as part of the health and lifestyle series, we're going to be talking with Julia Edgeley. She's a homeopath, a naturopath, a kinesiologist and a speaker in health retreats. Originally from Dublin, Ireland, she came to the south of France over 12 years ago with her partner when the osteo rules changed for foreign practitioners. He's an osteo and so is then able to open his own osteo clinic. Once she'd settled into French Riviera life, she opened her own clinics down here, and if you haven't been treated by her, then I think you probably know someone who will have been. She's funny, she's always laughing, and she's great to be around. Yet if you were in your consultation with her, you'd really quickly realise she's got an incredibly wide-reaching knowledge and takes a whole picture view of you before focusing on what remedies are needed. She's also a trained baby massage instructor, which is how I originally met her many moons ago through Kidderland. In fact, we think it was about 10 years ago. And therefore, I'm super happy to announce that we've got some regular dates back in the diary in 2017, offering this fantastic workshop to mums and their gorgeous little babies. We both agree that it's a real perk of our job to get to meet all your gorgeous newborns, so do come along. Right now, she's also the Côte d'Azur's very own green goddess, having more recently turned her spare time, if she's got any of that, to understanding healthy eating, healthy beauty routines, and ensuring that on the inside and the outside, we can walk a healthier path through life. In 2016, I was really lucky, actually. I was able to go and see her talk several times on her hashtag Clean Your Beauty Routine, and I was really taken with it. So taken with it that I got her into Kidderland for the Adolan programme last summer. And we collaborated together organising this amazing workshop for teenagers where they got to make their own toothpaste, hair gel, spot creams. And I'm talking boys too, it was girls and boys. And they left understanding that they need to read the labels before putting the products into their bodies. And it was such an important message. It's a message that I did get to chat to Julia about, and we are going to do it again because with healthy eating and healthy living, if you're anything like the everyday person, we do sort of fall off that wagon every now and again, and we do need a push to get back onto it. So this podcast is all about that. It's about, come on, let's pull it out the bag. 2017, it's going to be a great year. Let's get healthy, one step at a time. Let's make sure that in our day, over the next 12 weeks, we have got something in there that is going to tick that healthy living box. So without further ado, please welcome Julia Edgeley. I'm absolutely thrilled to have you with me at the start of the new year to talk about clean living, a healthier lifestyle, and anything else that touches our fancy. Let's start by casting your mind back to a favourite childhood memory. It doesn't have to be related to anything to do with homeopathy, but, you know, something that you think back to and it stayed with you as a memory.
I have a very distinct childhood memory. It's not the most happy, but it is a very distinct memory for me, and it's kind of every time I have a bit of a difficult period in my life, I think of this memory and it gets me through it. It was when I started secondary school, and for no reason, it was a lovely school, great pupils, great friends, but it was just quite traumatic for me, just the change. I'm not a massive fan of change, but I can handle it now that I'm grown up, supposedly. And I remember feeling that I couldn't go into school, and one morning, obviously secondary school, you had to get up really early because it was a Catholic school, so it was head to toe uniform and get ready for that. And it was my mum, I just couldn't get out of bed. And I remember my mum coming in, just lying beside me and doing a very gentle facial massage, and there was no words spoken between us, just that. And just that moment of feeling I can do this, and if I can't, I have family that are there for me. I don't have to put myself through the stress. And every time, so it's not the happiest memory, but it's the strongest memory I have from childhood.
I think that's a beautiful memory, a positive energy memory. It's lovely.
It was really, it was the fact there was no word said. It was just that facial massage. So actually, we were saying that I teach baby massage. When I do that massage on babies' faces, I remember that. I know how important touch is between a parent and a child. So important.
It really is, isn't it? It is.
Yeah.
And even now, as mine are getting to be teenagers, that cuddle and keeping that bond going, I'm so glad I missed the time when they were little.
It's like another form of communication.
Absolutely.
And I think it's underused, definitely.
Pull through to now you're a homeopath, and I just wonder, though, before you became a homeopath, what were the kind of strangest or funniest jobs you did before you came on this career path?
There was 1 year in between studying. I went home to Ireland through the summer, and there was an idea that I was going to come to France. I didn't speak French, so I thought I'll go home, do a French course and be a bit more prepared. I like to be prepared for things. And so I was looking for a job just to get me through the summer. I kind of laughed through this. And I don't know where I found the ad, but we were supposed to be a sales team. I was supposed to be a sales executive. This is not a sales executive. It was basically in the shed. And we were giving this motivational speak for the first day and training to sell paper. I swear to you, this is like The Office. And this is Ricky Gervais. And so we had to do this script, and we had to ring people in companies, big companies, and tell them that they were lucky that they were selected from our company list, that they got these designer watches, and then sell them paper. And I'm not joking. And motivation was you can have a 6-figure salary, all the usual spiel. And so I unfortunately was quite good at it. And I don't know how that is a reflection of me, that these people I'll buy paper. But I felt so bad. No, I don't actually know to this day if they were actually ever going to get the watches, or that was just a scam. But every time they'd go to put an order and I'd just start laughing and hanging up, people weren't impressed. So I lasted 6 hours. I think I was even paid for those 6 hours, but it's the shortest job I've ever had, but it's the weirdest job because we were in a damp, dingy shed with phones in front of us. So it's not something I'm the most proud of, but it was an experience. Apparently I'm good at sales, so they say.
So Julia Edgeley, homeopath here in the Côte d'Azur. What current lies and misconceptions are there about homeopathy that you have to answer and deal with every day?
I wouldn't say they're lies, but definite misconceptions. I don't tend to... Well, this is going to be a long answer. I don't tend to engage much because I don't want to sound like I'm too silly, but there is the two big conceptions. And the reason this is going to be a long answer, because when I do engage in some people for the second misconception, like on Twitter, because I do get a lot of Twitter trolls coming after me, they tend to block me, which is very unusual for Twitter trolls to block me, but however. So I'll start with that one, is that there's no research into homeopathy. That is a big misconception people think of. And part of my training when I did the postgrad was to be trained in clinical research and to be aware of it and how to apply it in one day. And it's something I would very much like to get involved in, because there is so much research out there already for homeopathy. But granted, compared to standard medicine, the volume is very different. And that's because in general, medication, the research is done by the pharmaceutical companies. So obviously they have a lot more money than slowly homeopaths have. And so there is the volume, but that's not to say that there is homeopathy. And a lot of people think it's actually to do with does homeopathy work or not. And that's actually not the research out there. It's showing the cost effective and how good it is for the standard healthcare. And it's been shown to be quite positive economically for state healthcare. So it's producing more and more of this research to show it has a place in like the NHS, and I think it's in Switzerland as well. It's part of the state healthcare as well. And so that is one of the biggest ones. For people who don't even use homeopathy, they think that there's no research. And so I actually put them I head them in the direction of the homeopathy research. And I was like, that's the website there. Because my memory, it's not what it used to be. I can't remember all the research trials. And everything is there for people to see. So that's the one that people who don't use homeopathy. For people who are aware of homeopathy, now if you've had pathology for quite a long time, like 6, 7, 8+ years, it won't resolve overnight. And as a homeopath, you actually want to see the process of healing. You don't want something just to disappear. So you're like, oh, where's that? You kind of like when people cut their finger, the stage of the skin healing. That's throughout our body and our health. And so, but you can get a reaction very quickly. So it is, so for people who think that it takes years for homeopathy to work, in inverted commas, no, you actually can get a reaction very quickly and get things under control with homeopathy, which in some cases you absolutely have to get things under control as quickly as possible, spreading like wildfire. So they're the two misconceptions that I hear quite often towards homeopathy.
I know you're a tweeter extraordinaire. You're social media queen. I don't know how you find time. I've got about 100 tweets to my name to your 6,000 plus.
Oh, good. Do I? That's the Twitter trolls I was telling you about. Gates like, well, tell me, what's your experience of research? And they're like, block her.
So I saw that you have a hashtag clean your beauty routine. And that's, you're using it in your blog, tweets. How did you sort of stumble into cleaning your beauty routine?
Yeah, people find that a bit strange. They don't really know, am I into beauty or is it homeopathy? But it's very much linked. I did stumble in for personal reasons, pure vanity, I'll be honest with you. I wanted like Walt Disney, like Disney hair. That's saying that I blame Disney for
you don't mean Walt Disney. I'm guessing you mean one of his princesses.
Oh yeah, exactly, yeah. But they're like unrealistic like portrayal of hair, and I said I want this, even though I was 27, so I should have known better. But I was on internet one night looking up different natural ways to make your hair thicker, and I was on a website and they spoke about chemicals in hair care. And I knew, as a homeopath, I did know about this. I'm ashamed to say I didn't apply it more in work, in practice. And so just going from one research to another of chemicals in personal care products and cosmetics, because a lot of people think it's just makeup I work with.
Oh no, it's shampoos and creams and toothpaste. You do all that.
If people saw it in crude form and saw the research, there was no way they'd put it on their skin. I then, a few months passed and I did everything that you weren't supposed to do. Well, they say, like, put bananas in your hair. Don't do that. And mayonnaise is great. It is actually great. I did
bananas last year with my teenage daughter. Yeah. It took us days to get it out.
Oh my God, it's awful. I kind of, that's when I see it on the internet, like, please don't do this. If you have hair longer than 2 inches, don't put this on your hair. I blended it down really well. So I did all that for a few months. And then I had a few niggling nothing big, health issues that disappeared. Didn't put 2 and 2 together until I thought of the timeline. I'm like, oh my God, and the research as well. It's like, it's the cosmetics. So then I kind of spoke to more and more people, and they applied it to their personal care products, and they noticed the change. And then I went, people grossly underestimate the effect of personal care products on your health. It's going to be the next big thing. It's already come out in Germany. There's announcement for it. There's laws in France for people who work in the beauty industry. It's already known. And I applied it to a few patients. Well, they chose to, because it is quite an undertaking to change everything. And it's just, the results are just amazing. I potentially have one baby being called after me in a few weeks.
Oh my word. That's fantastic.
It is.
That's life-changing.
It is. And it's more than just people. It's a lot known for fertility and for endocrine hormone problems. But things like, I've heard like depression, things like that, change, like the chemicals in cosmetics have a huge effect on your health, in every aspect of your health.
So what's like a step-by-step? So someone that's listening, what could they be doing right now at home to start cleaning their beauty routine? And this can apply to men too, right? Not just women.
Oh, completely. And kids as well. So I kind of do a whole family package. The first thing I would do is I would buy coconut oil. Coconut oil is not for everybody in terms of if you're for skin, but it can be applied to a wide range of things. You can make deodorant. It's a very effective deodorant. You can brush your teeth with this, with a few other small ingredients. You can put it in your hair. You can wash your makeup off. You can even wash your body in it. This is a tip. I'm giving all my tips away for skin. People who come to me with some skin ailments is I say put coconut oil on your skin and then wash it off. It's antimicrobial, so it does clean your skin, and so it's a type of shower gel.
And where would you get coconut oil from easily, not too expensively?
It's becoming more and more available in, I think, actually some mainstream shopping centres. Supermarkets have it, but definitely in health stores. And it's because it's so widely, it does come across expensive with, you can use it on your skin, you can use it for everything. So it's what's the word? Multi-usage. Is that what they say?
I'm thinking multifunctional. Yeah.
Exactly. So it's worth it. And so you start with that, cleaning your face off with oil. Eventually then you're going to be like me and washing your hair with eggs. I trust, and you'll be loving it. And you'll have Disney hair. That's what I'll tell you.
Is that guaranteed?
Well, I'll be honest with you, my hair has gotten a lot thicker to the point I don't know what to do with it. I'm used to having, it's like thin, silky, straight hair, and I'm getting this definite curl into it.
Wow.
So it's just embracing. Yeah, my hair was curly. I didn't know. It was just the chemicals just weighing it down and breaking it. That is one thing actually I would say to people when you're changing your hair care. That can be, especially for women, because hair is a big part of our identity, and it can be. And when you stop using the chemicals in hair care, you'll see the state your hair is in, because you'll see all the ads from hair care, and they're like, make your hair look and feel healthy. That's ad talking. That's, advertising talking. It's your hair is not healthy from this stuff. But there is ways that you can get around it. So I don't want to kind of scare people off. Definitely you can have your Disney hair.
And we'll put in the show notes later. There are ways that people can get in contact with you, and you've got PDFs, I think, free downloads and things on your website that people, and your blog, it's just like a Bible of information.
I want to get it more and more too, so people have a step-by-step idea of how to transition into not just clean beauty, but kind of healthier living, cleaner living. Some people, they see clean living and it can be quite intense, like, oh my God, I have to change everything. There's a process you can go through, and as you do your own research, you do what good for you at the time. So I kind of want to make it easy, and that's the idea for the blog, and that's the way I'll be developing it this year, hopefully.
Fantastic. Excellent. Yeah. Look forward to seeing that.
Brilliant.
I had a question from one of our teenage Côte d'Azur living members. So, in fact, she participated in your Clean Your Beauty routine that you did with Adoland last summer. She was wondering, what is a top face mask that you'd recommend for the winter?
Winter, definitely something hydrating, because with all the change in temperatures, it really dries your skin out. And even for people who have from pathology dry skin, they really suffer in winter. So you want something that really keeps the moisture in the skin. And that 2 ingredients, one would be aloe vera and one would be honey.
So you can get aloe vera from?
Aloe vera, you can get it in most health stores. You can do it aloe vera juice, and you can actually just buy the plant. I have like about 20 of the plants around my garden now. Wow. I must actually shoot a video to show you how to cut it open, and you just scoop it out and put it in a blender, and you blend that with honey. Fantastic. So say if you buy a base mask like the clay mask that you get quite readily in France, they're very good. They do purify your skin, so they'll draw toxins out, and some people can find them a bit drying. If you mix with honey, good honey and aloe vera, always do a patch test just in case, but everybody should be fine with this, and then apply that to your skin. That will really hydrate your skin, definitely in winter.
Fantastic. Okay, I've got another question if you're up for it. Okay, I will. I'll get the blog back to you. So there's another question. So this from a man who was reading an article recently about the microbeads that are found in loads of products, and wondered why that was a problem, why we don't like them, why should they be banned?
Well, they're plastic, so they will never biodegrade, and they're going back into our seas, and they're causing a huge problem with the fishing industry and with fish populations. And in a nutshell, that's what it is.
And they're in all products, or loads of products now, aren't they?
Loads of products. They're more in kind of toothpaste, anything that wants something abrasive, facial scrubs, that type of thing, body scrubs. So and it can be any size. You think, oh, this has microbeads, and you wouldn't even see it. Do you know what I mean? So they just don't break down, and they're going straight into our oceans and our waterways, and causing a huge problem for the habitat.
And how does one know? So I guess you have to turn the bottles over and look on the back. Will it say microbeads, or is there a different word? Or
microbeads would be, actually, that's a good question. I didn't even know about that. Microbeads, it would usually be on it, because they're cosmetic industry are quite proud, like, this has got microbeads. Do you know what I mean? So it will be said microbeads as a selling point. But I will actually look to see if there's another term for it, because that does happen quite often, not just in cosmetics, but in foods. They will change the word. If it's got a bad rep, they will change how it's written in the ingredient list. That's a good actually point to bring up. Of cosmetics, the only law really in law is to protect you, a consumer, for your cosmetics, is the ingredients list. They have to list everything in the ingredients. What is written on the front has got absolutely nothing to do with law. It's advertisement. So, it is. So anything that says natural, organic, that's what I want to do. it's quite a controversial post. So I don't for people, it's like, oh, it's organic. I'm like, organic means nothing. Absolutely nothing. It's just what's in the ingredients list. And I have my list. Yeah, no, it is. It's quite, there's a great book called No More Dirty Looks. And after I started doing the research, I bought that, my husband bought that book for me because I'd read this book and you'll love it. And so I did. And it was now it is more US information, but it just has some EU, I want to say, laws. And it outlines all the issues with packaging in cosmetics.
Well, I'm going to put that title in the show notes as well so that people can find that. So I know I've worked with you doing these workshops at Adderland, and one of the number of reasons people fail, what's a common stumbling block that you think people fall off the kind of clean your beauty routine wagon, and what could they be doing to overcome it?
The number one I would say is hair care, because because people get a lot afraid of, oh my God, my hair looks like Wurzel Gummidge or it's breaking off. It can be that bad. I recommend, very simply, don't be worrying too much about I'm no poo, what we call no shampoo, which is eggs and stuff like that. You don't have to be perfect.
Now, sadly for us, we were beaten technology-wise by the wind and the weather. But Julia did go on to explain that she washes her hair just with eggs. So when she goes on holiday or goes abroad, she doesn't actually have to take any products in the little see-through bag. She can just get to her destination and buy an egg. But she did say, do be sure to clean out your hair with cold water thoroughly, like 100%. Otherwise, you will have scrambled egg in your hair. And a very similar experience to my banana issue when we were away on holiday. You can actually go onto juliahomeopath.wordpress.com, and if you search no poo, literally P-O-O as in shampoo, you can find out how often she washes her hair, how she embraces greasy roots. Basically, it's a difficult phase that you go through. Your hair can feel quite brittle as you go through the process, as your hair kind of suddenly goes into shock that it hasn't got these horrible chemical products that are in everyday shampoos. And then once you've gone through that pain, you have, like Julia, and you need to have a look at the photo of her on her various websites, luscious hair. So that is something that I do recommend you do. I did try it for a while. I then fell off the wagon, but I did go and buy one of the shampoos that Julia recommended following one of her speakeasy talks. She did a fantastic speakeasy talk, and I'm really hoping that that we get to hear more of those kind of talks again in 2017. And there was great follow-up information that sort of told me exactly what kind of products I don't want to bring into my house and I don't want my children to have going into their precious little bodies. I mean, there we are putting all this organic food into them, and then we're letting them put sulfates and lather and bathe in sulfates. It's kind of crazy that we can do that. So we did cover healthy eating, but unfortunately I can't share that with you. Again, Julia's got some amazing recipes on her blog. For various reasons, she had to find gluten-free recipes, and they are all on her blog. She will be coming back to Kidderland very soon in January. I'm going to grab a bit of time with her and just talk a little bit about the healthy eating. Her epic fails in the kitchen, it's worth us going back to that because that's really quite funny, and We'll go over that so that you know that I'm not the only rubbish person in the kitchen. Julia's favourite place to hang out and chill out was really getting back to nature, getting away from it all, disconnecting. And it was actually in Pont-du-Loup, up by the Loup River. There's some beautiful walks up there. Lots of rock pools where little kids can play. It's quite popular for dogs too. And that's where Julia told me she really liked to go and chill and just be at one with nature. Julia Edgeley, thank you ever so much for taking the time. I really, really appreciate it. We were challenged enormously by technology. I want to thank you for your time. The websites that I'd like to direct people to are www.v, so V-I-E, then the number 4, vitality.com, so v4vitality.com. If you were interested in the baby massage classes, then it's facebook.com/babymassage06. And we've put together a couple of dates where new mums and new babies up to about 9 months can come on a Monday morning and have a really great session with Julia. It's really friendly. It's, like she said right at the beginning, a great thing to introduce early on, that touch with your child. It's really reassuring for your baby. If you want to find out about her Clean Your Beauty routine and all the recipes, then you need to go to juliahomeopath.wordpress.com, or you can get that through the v4vitality.com website. Hope you enjoyed it. Do subscribe. Catch you later, Fireflies.
This episode was brought to you by Riviera Firefly for Cocktails You Are Living by your host and my mum, Antonia Brown. Please subscribe, like and share. Until the next time, au revoir les Fireflies.